something that I've come to realize more and more I keep on praying, more I keep asking, more I keep trying to figure out more about who God is and what God's all about. Trying to get closer to Jesus, trying to get closer to myself, trying to get closer to this land, trying to get closer to these animals, trying to get closer to everything on this planet, trying to get a more understanding of what the future is, as opposed to making sure that I'm not doing the same stuff. As long as the same stuff is good to go, then cool. But I don't think that most of us start off in a good to go and things been just perfect and smooth for us. So we kind of maybe have had that, and you kind of hit like a standstill where things kind of get complicated, things get really stressful, things get kind of irritating, things get just super challenging. And then you got to figure out how to be able to get past that point, how to be able to get further along. And that's for me to really just be out here and keep doing what I'm doing, and to really recognize something that is trying to damage me as opposed to something that's trying to help me. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. and I was born July 4th, 1986. Standing out here today has really brought a lot of insight to me, and going for a nice walk has really brought a lot of insight to me, and just praying some more and trying to ask some more as much as I can throughout my day has really brought me some insight about things that I got to talk about today, and things that are challenging, I think, a lot of people. And that's the concept of making sure that we're, hey, Oreo, can you take that somewhere else, homie? Can you take that somewhere? There we go. Sorry, he over here chewing on a bone. That's a deep bone that he's chewing on. He can chew on it, I don't care. But some insight today that I had to start working on and start being able to get myself through and deal with all the distractions and deal with everything that's going on, and even the distractions of that. My dog's out here trying to distract me. My donkey out here distracting me. Where's my donkey? My chicken's trying to distract me. My everything trying to distract me. And sometimes distractions are a good thing. Sometimes distractions are an absolute blessing when you're in a situation where you're trying to figure out what your next steps are. Because if you just stay in what you're in, that distraction can be something to be able to uplift you, to bring you out of what you're in, because you're just stuck in something. Where you got a new distraction of like a bunch of chaos in a different direction starts happening, that you start focusing on that chaos. That can be, say, positive chaos as opposed to disruptive chaos. Because there's two different types of chaoses, and there's something that I really have it in me to understand. There's two sides of everything on this planet. If you think of something as being bad, I promise you I could look at it and say something good about it. In the sense of how it looks bad to you, it is a good thing, it is a positive thing. And it's something that we should all start to really pay more attention to. And something that I really have been praying and thinking and asking and wondering about this past week, and especially just this past today, is the concept of people, things, concepts, ideas, groups, organizations trying to bring you back into doing things that you used to do, that you told yourself you don't want to do. And it's weird that they even know that you that you want to stop doing that. It's even weird that they know that you had a problem with it before. It's even weird that they know everything about your back history, about something that you're trying to get away from. It's so strange to me on how some people can just know so much about another human being without actually knowing them at all. And it's very interesting when they're trying to bring you back into something that you want to get away from. And to me, it's just a test of the over and over and over again of making sure that you're on board with wanting to move in a forward trajectory, and not trying to go back into some old stuff and just headed into that misery that you used to be a part of. That every day is in reality going to be a challenge. Every day is going to be a new mission to make sure that you're going to be able to do what it is that you said that you were going to do, and stay faithful with what it is that you said you want to do. And sometimes some people and some organizations and anything comes to you that just drives to want to draw you back into the things that you used to do. If you used to drink a lot and you said, I'm done, I quit, I'm not doing that no more. And then you realize you got rid of all the people around you as well. All the people that used to be drinking, all your drinking buddies, all the folks you used to go to the bars with and do what you do, you canceled them all. You said, I'm done with all y'all, and I'm gonna find a whole new group of friends. And then when you try to even say introduce the new group of friends, you realize that they were trying to bring you in. They're like, oh no, I'm done. And then you thought you were over. You thought it was finished. You thought you were completed with it because you got all the people out. You got all the new people out, and you got the wisdom of knowing if someone new comes in, that I'm just gonna not talk to them. But there's something that's very interesting that goes on, that there's going to constantly be, this is where I'm going to say the thing of addictions and the things of the enemy and things that are destructive to us are always going to be coming back to us and coming back to us and coming back to us. At first, it's going to be something that is very, very, very strong, because you're trying to quit. And it's something that's going to be a strong hold on to you. It's like, no, you got to stay here. You got to stay here. You got to stay here. And then the further and further you start to separate yourself from it, the more and more power, I'm going to say, is that you start to become to be able to get yourself to stay away from it. So when things do come to you, you're more in a powerful stance of, I've been out of that for so long that's not going to be so easy to get back in. That's something. But there's a part of it that people try to come into your life to try to get you to go back to doing some old things that you used to do. And then they try to push so hard, and then they try to talk about how sweet it is and how awesome it is and how great it is. And it starts to get really complicated in your brain because you're looking at this person and thinking like, hey, they're doing pretty good. Things are pretty nice with them. They don't seem to be addicted to it. They don't seem to have an issue with it, when they probably don't. But it's something, or I'm going to say, of what gets drawn to you when you decide to quit, that it just sucks. This is just what it is. But it's not a battle that you have to fight all day, every day. But it's something that's going to always keep trying to come back to you to try to get you to go back in it again. It's going to be something around the corner that's always going to happen that's going to say, hey, see, there it is right there. If you got yourself into a car accident and unfortunate circumstances, you started taking some prescription medications, you got addicted to those prescription medications, you're going to end up in a situation that you're going to get into another car accident later on down the road to see if you can get addicted to that again. Once you decided that you're done with it, you quit it, you got clean from it, you pushed away from it, and something's going to come and something's going to happen that's going to kind of try to draw you to get back in it. And to me, those are just the tests and the challenges of the land, of making sure that you said that you are going to do exactly what you said you were going to do. And that's how you're going to be able to be given more and more, say, challenging, awesome things to work with next. Where if you can't pass this test, how are you going to be able to move on to the next? Because you're not going to be strong enough. You're going to be, your willpower is going to be too low. Your attitude is going to be so quick to just, I don't know, and I'm not sure, as opposed to just being firm with saying and sticking and doing what it is that you said. And sometimes that has to come to us to make sure that we're going to be ready for the next challenge that comes to us, because the next challenge is going to be more difficult. I remember the first day when I started to get into the Bible, start to just really pray and just start to really believe. Start to really say that Jesus, you are the way, you are the one, you are the creator of creators. Hey, Oreo, you good. He is the creator, and he is the one to be able to help me out, be able to guide me, be able to give me some wisdom, some patience, and some self-control on this planet, to be able to bring me out of anger, be able to bring me out of these lustful things. I started off with working upon these 10 commandments and realizing that there was one that was harder and one that was easier for me. And it's like I went down the path of doing the easier ones first, of trying to make sure that I'm doing all right, making sure that I'm getting in a cleaner lifestyle, making sure that I'm doing what it is I need to do to be able to, who knows exactly what it all is, but there's one thing that I do know, that the commandments are a way to be able to make sure that you're healthy, that you're satisfied, that you're good to go. And there's some of them that were just like, okay, that's simple. And I couldn't attack just the hard one up front. It would just demolish me. It would have just made me say, oh, forget it, I quit, I'm going to get out of here, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to handle this at all anymore, I'm just done. I don't want to do this at all anymore. It could have done that to you. But it was a way of me having a good understanding of, like, Jesus pushing me a little bit and a little bit and a little bit and a little bit to allow me and allow me to be able to see the beauty that's out here, and not just put it and flood it all upon me, but just do baby steps, and not just do it all at one go. And that's something for me that I see that constantly over and over and over. And it's like we have to be pushed back into something that we said we quit, to make sure you still on that. Because once we verify that we're still on that, now we can go ahead and move on to the greater things to be able to get you to be able to do some awesome things on this planet. And for me, just seeing and hearing stories about what some people have done on this planet that are 100% true believers of Jesus Christ and follow his ways as best as they can and do everything and preach the message and live the message, not just standing up and just saying something for 2 hours and then going away and doing something completely different for the remainder of the week, but actually being it and representing it and showing it to everyone around and to everything around. These people are able to do some absolutely incredible things. And I know it wasn't so easy for them to be able to get to that point, that they were challenged and tested the entire way to be able to get stronger, to be able to start to be able to preach a message that is going to be oh so powerful for people to be able to hear, for people to be able to understand. And that's something for me that I've been working on, that I would hope that majority of people would be working on to figure out how to be able to figure out how to be able to get out of the whole living in this world and needing all these things to be able to survive and be able to just live day by day. Get out of the ways of trying to figure out how to be able to just get through a day. Get out of those ways of living and understand that your day is taken care of. Your day is good to go. Now, what is it that you're going to be pursuing to be able to help the next person to be able to do that exact same thing? And that's something that I would hope that more people would want to be able to be a part of, and not just me, my own self, and doing what it is that I'm doing. But a lot of times I realize that more and more closer and closer I get to people, the more that you just don't want any help. You don't want any assistance, and that saddens me in a way. But it also makes me have to work harder upon myself to figure out how to be able to say a certain message, say a certain thing to you, to be able to get you to move a little bit, just a tiny bit. And it's something for me to be able to say to anybody, to get you to get a little bit closer and be able to have a better understanding of knowing who Jesus is. You can't see him, you can't touch him, you can't feel him, you can't do anything that with him. All you can do is be a person for me, to be able to represent something, to show something, be about something, to be able to show you that, hey, this may be something that is awesome, something that is obtainable, something that is reliable, something that is there to be able to make sure that we're getting into a better. Hey, May, I need you here, girl. Donkey's coming. Come here. May, come on, girl. Sorry, we got to be careful when the donkey out in this big field because he likes to chase this little dog. Come here, girlfriend. Come here, girl. Johnny down. Sorry, we got to take a break on that. May, come here. I don't know why you're moving so slow right now. Get down. May, get down. Thank you. Sup. I don't know what's going on today, but I'm going to tell you one thing. Sometimes you get challenged with some things just in the middle of just what you're doing to see what it is that you're going to do and see how it is. May, get down. See how it is that you're going to react. Because sometimes majority of the time, all the time, no time is everything just going to be so perfect in your life. So perfect in your life, May, get down. So perfect in your life that everything is just going to be so smooth and so amazing that we get challenged. And sometimes I just recognize and realize my own self that I just get challenged in ways that are just like, let's see what you're going to do now, man. Let's see where you're going to go. And it's something that's like always constantly pushing at you. And it's not pushing at you to get you to be worse. There's some people out here that do that. There's some people out here that push you to want to be able to get better. And that's something that I'm going to say is what I hope to be able to become on this planet. Someone to be able to push you to get you into a better place and never put you into a worse place. Because I would never say something to you to just try and destroy you, to try to damage you, to try to just ruin you, to try and just bring you completely down to the point of you don't know what to do, where to go, how to be, how to act, how to do anything. I never want to be able to push you to that point. I want to push you to the point of making sure that I'm getting you to be in a better place. Even something as simple as like right now with my dog. When she decides, you know what, I want to keep chewing on this bone way over here. I see the donkey creeping, but I don't care. I can do what I can do because this bone is more satisfying than death in reality is what she's looking at it as. And I could say to her like, no, I have the insight and the wisdom of seeing that there's something around the corner that's going to harm you. So even though you think that what you're doing is best, I'm telling you it's not best in the right case right now. And that's something that I would want to be able to look at her and say to her, even though she says, I don't want to do that. I don't like that. I don't care about that. It doesn't, we got to look past that sometimes in certain scenarios and certain things that are going on, realizing that maybe you're in danger because of what it is that you're doing. And then when she comes closer, she gets over here and she lays down. And she lays down when I ask her to lay down. And she understands, okay, I must be okay with this. And then she decides, you know what, I'm going to get up and keep going. I'm going to get up, I'm going to get up and go over here. I'm going to get up and I'm going to try to keep on doing this. And not realizing that what it is that's being asked upon her, told upon her, forced upon her in a way, is to save her, to make sure that she's going to be good to go, to make sure that she's not going to be put in any sort of danger. And that's where I feel like the whole big concept of what God is to us. He's got to push us. He's got to force us. He's got to drive us to make sure that we get out of danger. A lot of things on this planet, we're in an absolute massive amount of danger with everything that's around us, with everything that's going on. And it's something inside of us that we got to do to fight past that danger and realize that even though I like this right now, I really like it. I like it. It's so great. It's so awesome. She's chewing on the bone. She's like, oh, this is great. Life is great. And then all of a sudden, a big hoof just comes and smashes her in the face and she's gone. That could be something that would happen to her without having someone on the outside out here looking around, being able to say like, hey, actually, there's something out there that's going to attack you. And that's what God does to us as human beings. He sees us putting ourselves in this danger. And we may like it. We enjoy it. We're just like, woohoo, yeah, we're having some fun. We're having some good times. We're having a lot of pleasure here. But he sees the danger that's about to happen to you. He sees the chaos that you're about to go into, and not the chaos that's the good chaos of getting you away from some things that's drastic to you, but the negative chaos that's just absolutely destroying you. And that's something that I hope that there would be more and more people to stand up to want to help people out, get out of that disastrous chaos and put them into a new level of chaos that's going to help them out and be able to bring them into a better light of world. Because sometimes when you want to quit something, when you're addicted to something and you just can't let it go, you know, you're saying to yourself, I quit anytime I want. No, you can't. Every time someone says that, you're wrong, 100%, guaranteed. If you say you can just quit whenever you want, you're addicted to it. You can't stop it. I'll promise you, guarantee that. I could slap $1,000 bill in your hand and say, okay, you're done, then done. Then just quit. You got no urge for it. You got no want for it. You got no desire for it. You're just finished with it. I'll give you $1,000 bill right in your hand to just quit it right here and there. but you're not going to, because it's the draw that's got you. It's the pull that's got you. You're not just going to quit. And it's something that someone out here is going to have to say to you, hey, maybe we should get away from some of these things. Maybe we should stop doing some of these things. And it's for you to say, oh, this is fun, this is good, it's all good, it's all right, it's all whatever it is. And it's something is going to come in and it's going to demolish you because you weren't paying attention. You weren't seeing what was going on over here. You weren't seeing what was going on over there. You were only seeing just right here, a little small, little narrow view. And that's something that some of us really need to just get the hard words of hard truth to, of having a good understanding of knowing that there's some things that we're doing that are damaging. And there's some things that my own self am doing that are damaging, that I'm always asking and praying to figure out how to be able to get out of that. How to be able to get out of that destructive chaos, to get into something that is completely different, completely new, completely away from what it is that I've ever been a part of. And especially being very, very weary of the people that come into your life and come into my life that are constantly trying to get me to go back to doing some old things that I used to do. I automatically have to 100% reject that person instantly. And no longer can I allow myself to say, it's okay, it's all right. But I have to instantly reject that because I know what your intentions are. If your intentions are to bring someone back into what they used to do, your intentions are to hurt somebody. If the person comes in and says, hey, how about you might want to get away from this, their intentions are trying to help you to get into a better place. And it's up to that person to be able to take that understanding or not. It's up to that person to be able to hear that information and just accept it or just reject it and move on. And that's where, for me, being a believer in Jesus Christ, knows that one of the most beautiful things that I'm all about, what I'm a part of out here, is I don't need to force anybody. I don't need to enslave anybody. I don't need to dictate to anybody what it is that you need to believe and what it is you need to do. I am going to have things that I'm going to say. If you want to be close to me and be with me, yes, I expect this and I expect this. But I don't care what you do over there. You can do whatever you want to do. That's not going to affect me and it's not going to affect my life. And it's something that I think is very, very challenging for some people to hear and some people to really understand, is knowing that I don't care what you do. I don't care where you go. I don't care who you talk to. I don't care what happens in your life in a way. I care when you want to try and damage me, but at the same time you can't, because I'm just going to walk away from that. But I'm not going to force you to do what I do. I'm not going to force you to eat how I eat. I'm not going to force you to sleep the same sleep cycle I do, the workout sessions I do. I'm not going to. But there's one thing I will say: if you eat like I eat and pray like I pray, there's going to be two things in your life that are just going to be way much better. You're going to be way more healthier, to be able to have more stamina, to be able to do some awesome, amazing things. And you're going to have someone to be able to back you, to help you, to guide you, to comfort you when you're needing that. Even not only in times that you're hurting, but in times that you're doing good. Because probably one of the hardest things on this planet is to tell someone else that you're doing good. They don't want to hear that. They always want to hear how bad you're doing and how crappy your life was and how horrible everything is, not how good you're doing. So you got to have someone to be able to talk to about the good stuff that's going on. And it's something that I hope to be able to keep on pursuing, to show someone something of, I don't do this and I don't do that. Why don't you do that? Why don't you eat that? Why don't you go there? Why don't you do this? Because this is always trying to attack me. This is always trying to slow me down. This is always trying to discourage me. This is always trying to put me in sticky situations that I don't know how to get out of. And that's why I'm not doing a lot of things on this planet. The reason why I stick to the eating guidelines with the Bible states. It's a fantastic thing, because I don't know what it is, but there's always been something. There's always been something that's messed my stomach up my whole life. I would always eat. I would always change my diet, change this. But there was always one thing on there that I would always eat that was on that list of saying not to eat. And it's very fascinating that when I stopped eating everything on that list not to eat, that I don't have those issues at all anymore. I don't have stomach issues at all anymore. I don't have gas issues at all anymore. I don't have any of those issues. So a lot of that stuff, I'm going to straight say, it's not even a spiritual sense. It's a thing for our bodies to be able to relax and be able to recover and be able to work properly, to be able to be smooth and be able to be functioning. When you let go of a lot of this stuff, and especially when you let go of a lot of the processed stuff, your body starts to just really reflect. And it's something that I would just want to challenge more people with trying to just figure out more about that and stop thinking like, oh, it's just this is just this is just it. No, just try it and see what happens. Try it, because I guarantee you something in your body is hurting. That's why we use and do a lot of these stimulants and a lot of this stuff out here, because something is hurting. Something is damaged up. You got headaches, you got knee aches, you got hip aches, you got ankle aches, you got all kinds of aches. You got all kinds of pains. You got this problem over here, you got that problem over there. So you're taking this pill for that, and this drug for that, and this substance for that, and you're doing all these things to try to make yourself feel better. And it's very interesting to see. I don't know what it is, but I still see a lot of these people that just live true to the word, and they just live completely different lives that I've noticed. Like they are incredible human beings, is what I'm going to say. Incredible human beings in the way that they're able to just flow and be able to get stuff done. And that's something that I would want myself, but at the same time, I would want more and more people to figure out how to be able to get into that state and get out of the high level of fear, get out of the high level of disgust, get out of the high level of just the irritation that comes to you based on things that you hear. I used to get so irritated by hearing certain things and certain stuff that go on that it would just infuriate me when I hear something. Now I hear the same stuff today, same exact things that used to just make me so mad. I hear it today, I'm just like, oh, okay, well, wow, oh, all right. That's something that I'm going to say is the power of who Jesus and what Jesus is all about. What he's able to bring to you, what he's able to do for you, what he's able to just offer to you is a level of peace that can't no one else out here be able to bring to you. And that level of peace is something that is so joyful. It is so pure. It is so loving. It is so kind. It is so nice. It is not here to destroy or try to slow you down or hinder you in any way. And someone that thinks that Jesus is here to hinder you, I'm telling you, you're not praying. You're not. You're praying in a way of saying you must be fake, you must be not real, you must be evil, you must be no good. You're not praying. You're not opening yourself up. You're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable in a way of just putting yourself out there and seeing what's happening. You're holding up this like, I'm a God, I'm the only one, I'm the supreme being, I'm the greatest of the greatest, and you're not allowing a God to be able to come into you. You're not allowing it. Just be vulnerable. Just let it go. Let loose. Just let it all out. Just say, you know what? I must not know it all because I'm struggling here and I'm struggling here and I'm struggling here. I hear this and I get irritated. I hear that and I get frustrated. I hear this and I go over here and things aren't looking smooth for me. I'm always behind. I can never catch up. I'm always just struggling. I'm telling you, loosen yourself, be a little vulnerable and just say, hey, Jesus, I need some help. I need some help. I need some help. And he's going to show you and guide you to that help. And a lot of times that help in the short term, even in the long term, but especially in that short term, you're going to think is damaging, is harming, is ruthless to you, is chaos to you. But it's because Jesus is trying to get you out of the destructive chaos that you're in into something that's going to be much greater. And with that, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for me being able to get out of the high level of chaos that I've always was in, the high level of chaos that I've always just constantly would surround myself with, the high level of chaos that I thought I needed to just be able to survive, to be able to make it through a day. I used to think that I had to be in an argument to be able to like even sleep in the night. I had to be in a disagreement to just feel like I'm valued in some sort of way. I have to allow people to just be able to use and abuse me for me to be able to feel wanted and desired in some way. And I've just really come to realize like, no, my name is Mark Anthony DuBose Jr. and I was born July 4th, 1986, and I'm a follower and believer of Jesus Christ, the one true God of this planet. And I do not need to be anybody's stepping stone to just do what they want to do to make themselves feel better. And I greatly appreciate that, and I'm just so thankful to be able to just wisen up myself and grow up myself and get stronger with myself and be firmer with myself and be more just in control of where I want to be able to go with myself and allowing God to be able to move me into those directions that he wants me to go with myself. And I'm just so thankful to be able to just constantly keep on doing what it is that I'm doing and being where I'm being and being around what I'm around, knowing that as long as I stay faithful, as long as I stay on track with doing what I'm doing, as long as I don't go back to the things I said I'm not going to go back to, I'm going to be able to continue to keep on moving into a different path of this life that I've never been able to experience. But if I constantly keep putting myself in that chaos, I'm going to keep living in that chaos and keep seeing that chaos and keep thinking that that's all that there is. And that's not all that there is. There's joy out here. There's peace out here. There's love out here. There's forgiveness out here. There's a lot of amazing things out here. It's not all chaos. And a lot of us are living in chaos thinking that we can't get out of it. And I'm telling you, Jesus is the way to be able to get out of the chaos. Thank you.